Yeah, my name's Jim Devlin. I'm Operations and Engineering Manager at Kodiak Electric Association. Kodiak Electric is a electric co-op. We're located on Kodiak Island. We were formed in, I believe, 1945 as an electric co-op. And the difference between a co-op and another type of electric utility is that the members own part of the company. It's governed by a 9-member board that's elected by the members. The benefit is that any profits that are made by the company are redistributed to the owners as capital credits or dividends, I suppose you could call it. It's all part of the movement in the early part of the country to electrify rural parts of the country. And the Rural Electrification Association was formed at the federal level to loan money to rural areas that wanted power. So the co-op system was formed out of that government program. You know, a government run program, I believe it's been one of the few, in my opinion, is very, very successful in that it's brought electricity to people that really need it but could never afford it on their own. I think the cooperatives that borrowed money were held accountable and were able to pay it back in order to finance more and other co-ops to be able to borrow money. So as far as I know, the rate of loan repayment was very high, and which created more money to be reloaned. And I think the co-op model is ideal for something like that. And I don't think I've ever heard of co-ops defaulting on loans and from the rural electrification program. In the early 1980s, the state of Alaska built 4 dams and called the project the 4-Dam Pool. And Kodiak was one of the communities that received power from a hydroelectric project called Terror Lake, built by the state of Alaska. After the state divested its interest in the 4-dam pool, the communities that received power from the 4 dams formed a group that owned and operated the projects, and then after that entity, Kodiak Electric was able to purchase the Terror Lake project from that from the 4 entities that owned and operated the dam projects. There was a goal that was instigated by the board of directors and it's actually a mission statement that reads, we will endeavor to provide 95% renewable power by the year 2020. And that was formed by the board of directors some time in the past. Now in 2014, this year is projected to be a 99% renewable energy. The motivation was strictly the price of diesel fuel. It's extremely high to purchase diesel fuel, especially in our community where it has to be shipped in. We probably have the highest gas prices, one of the highest gas prices in the state. And so the cost of burning diesel fuel is very high. And in addition to that, it was the fluctuation in prices of diesel fuel from quarter to quarter that made predicting the cost of power very hard. Wind and water. So we have 9 megawatts of wind generation in 6 different wind towers, and we have a hydroelectric project that's now rated at 30 megawatts. Well, we've had our hydroelectric project since the early 1980s, and that's been our base load, and the cost of that power is very steady. We know what the debt is on that, so the cost to the members is known, and it doesn't fluctuate compared to the price of diesel fuel. Mm-hmm. The hydro project isn't large enough to supply all the power for our community, so we had to look at other sources of renewables, and wind power is working out really well. Yeah, we live in an environment where we have a lot of wind, so it's very readily available. The technology, I believe, has come to the point that we can import it into this community far away from the rest of the U.S. and have it work for us, whereas maybe a decade ago the technology wasn't as far advanced as it is today. We have 6 turbines that are rated 1.5 megawatts each. I'm not really sure the whole financial picture, but my understanding is that the savings in diesel fuel is paying for the wind project, I would say within 10 years for sure. The city of Kodiak is rebuilding what's called Pier 3, and Pier 3 is where the large container ships dock and unload and provide all the goods that we consume here on the island. And in return, they take the product that we produce, the fish, back south or wherever it's going. So the Pier 3 is very critical to the community in that we get a lot of everything we get through the shipping system. So during the rebuild of that pier, the idea came about to put in an electric crane instead of what they have now as a diesel electric crane. So this new crane is going to run completely on electricity, and it was up to the co-op to look at providing power to the crane. Now this is a huge load for our small system, so in order to put the crane on the grid and keep everybody stable, we're also looking at a flywheel system to counteract the load of the crane on the electric system. I've never seen one in operation, so apparently it's a large mass of metal that's spinning and can provide short bursts of energy when it's called upon to. It spins, and when the crane is lifting or consuming power, the flywheel would supply that, and when the crane is lowering loads, it would actually absorb power from the crane. So it would act to mirror image the electrical load of the crane and not have the crane affect the system as much. They are talking summer of next year, 2015. The board is pursuing a project to enhance the amount of water coming into our hydro project, and that's being looked at and actually being studied at this time. You're not, I guess, subject to fluctuating fuel prices. Electric rates are steady with renewables because the cost of the power doesn't change as compared to diesel fuel, which can fluctuate quite a bit.
any...
The other benefit is that you are using renewable resources and not burning diesel fuel. Again, we're kind of, it's kind of a double-edged sword that we're isolated, but we're independent. So I think our leadership is very forward-thinking in that way, and knowing that we're on our own and we have to provide for ourselves, and we can't rely on others. So in that way, it's been good to take the risk, and the leadership has shown a lot of risk taking in my, but it's paid off. It's, all the risks are calculated, and so far it's been working out really well.